Now that you know what procrastination is, it's time to learn some tips on how to stop putting things off. The first step is to challenge the excuses we make for putting off a task. Often when we procrastinate, we feel a little bit of guilt. The excuse we come up with helps us to feel better because it provides us with an acceptable reason why we are procrastinating. Because our excuses are often based on some truth, we often conclude that we will be better off delaying the task. We assume that tomorrow will be a much better day to start. We often wait for the right conditions before getting down to business. But realistically, tomorrow won't be better because there's no ideal time or condition for doing something we don't want to do. Also, it is well known that we are pretty bad at predicting how we will feel in the future. So, the first place to start if you want to change your procrastination habit is to challenge the excuses for why you are delaying the task. We need to change the dialogue that is happening internally so that you don't convince yourself that it's okay to procrastinate. So, the first step is to ask yourself a series of questions to help you determine whether your excuse is valid or if it's just your procrastination habit kicking in again. Ask yourself, why is it better to delay this task? Would it be better to start it now? Is it really true that I can't even do a little bit of work right now? Can I get some part of the task done even if the conditions aren't right? Changing your procrastination habit can be difficult and can take some time. So, while you're working on challenging your excuses, here are some other easy and practical tips to help you stop procrastinating. First thing you can do is to get organized. Begin by writing out all of the tasks you need to get done and prioritize them. Start with the tasks that have the highest priority. Breaking down large assignments into smaller, more manageable chunks can help. Procrastinators often underestimate how much time they will need for an assignment. So for each assignment, decide how much time you think you will need to finish it, and then double that number. When you're contemplating whether or not to work on an assignment, don't overwhelm yourself by trying to finish the whole thing in one sitting. If you're really struggling, start by committing to only 5 minutes of work. 5 minutes seems like nothing, but often, once these 5 minutes are up, you'll feel more motivated to keep going, maybe for another 5 minutes. If not, at least you've started. You may find that 10 or 15 minutes suits you better. Use whatever amount of time that works. Another way is to set a time limit, say half an hour, and no matter what happens, you stop working once this time is up, even if you're on a roll. This will help you commit to working on the task because it has a limited time frame, and you won't be overwhelmed getting started. If you're struggling on how to start, some people find it better to start with the most difficult assignment and get the worst over with first. Once you're finished the most difficult task, everything you will do after that will be a piece of cake. If that doesn't work for you, try the opposite. Start by working on the easiest task, and then use your momentum to keep going. Other people find the best order for them is to start with the easiest task, then move on to the most difficult, and then finish with another easy task. Try all 3 ways and see which one works best for you. One of the best tips to stop procrastinating is to reward yourself. In the beginning, reward yourself for even the smallest accomplishments. This will increase your motivation. Set a goal, and before you start working, decide on what your reward for accomplishing your goal will be. Write all of that down. Keep the goal and the reward in front of you while you work. Often, the best rewards are those things that we tend to distract ourselves with when procrastinating. If you're having trouble finishing an assignment, sometimes a change in your studying environment can help. Try the school library, a community library, or even a coffee shop. Peer pressure is usually a negative thing, but for procrastinators, it can be very helpful. Having a study partner or a study group can help to stop procrastinating because there will be more pressure for you to do your part. Another way to take advantage of peer pressure is to ask somebody to check in with you on your progress with a certain task. You're more likely to accomplish your goal if you know your teacher or your parent is going to ask you about your progress. If you're having difficulty with procrastination, or you would like more information on the subject, make an appointment with a counselor in Student Services.